fellow Star Trek fans. I'd like to share some more different items that I have from my Star Trek collection with you. This one is going to be cool. This is really not that vintage. This came out in 2011. But this is just going to be so fun to make, I think. It's marketed as the USS Enterprise. This is round 2 models. It is a version of AMT. And this is as seen in the Tholian Web episode of Star Trek, the original series. Now what makes this unique is that it's modeled in the glow-in-the-dark plastic for the ship. And it's interesting. I don't know why it wasn't marketed as the USS Defiant, because as you guys remember, it wasn't the Enterprise that was glowing. It was actually the Defiant. And they market it as the Enterprise. But the good thing about this kit is it comes with the decals where you can make it the Defiant if you so choose. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build it as a Defiant. And you know how, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I really enjoy lighting my models. So I'm probably going to light it. I just have to figure out how I'm going to do it. I'd like to light it where it's blotchy, might be bright there, dim there. You know, like from the show, the TV show, when it was blinking in and out. The light strips where it's all lit up, bright, that is cool. But I was thinking more along the lines of the show where it's bright in some sections, dull in some other sections, but I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but I'll figure something out when the time comes. But this is the AMT Star Trek USS Enterprise glow-in-the-dark USS Enterprise as seen in the Tholian Web episode of Star Trek. And this is going to be the unboxing. And like I do with every other model kit that I've done for you guys, I'll do the unboxing, and then step by step I'll take you through the process, and then eventually I'll show you the finished model. So looking at the box art, you know, the box art's really cool because it's got the Tholian Web, and it's got one of the Tholian ships that was used to create the web. The one that the Enterprise damaged when it attacked the Enterprise when the time was up, that Mr. Spock had asked for to get the captain back. This one comes with the new Tholian Web spinner ships. So I guess the others didn't come with this, but this edition does have the Tholian Web ships that I can put in the display with the ship. Let me go ahead and show you the back of the box. It's really cool because it shows you the the Defiant. And that's what I'm gonna make it into the Defiant, not the Enterprise. And it shows you also on the bottom a version of the Enterprise that you could make, you know. Actually, you could make it into any ship in the fleet at the time. It says decorate as the Enterprise, Defiant, or other ships. Includes 2 Tholian Web spinners, and it's the glow-in-the-dark plastic. And this is really cool, NCC 1764. The Defiant. Now if you see, even on the box art, it has sections where it's bright and dim. So I'm thinking that I gotta figure out a way to do that with the lighting. But the Star Trek original series presented numerous classic episodes. Among them, the Tholian Web featured all of the qualities found in the very best science fiction stories. Great characterization, dramatic moments of imminent danger, mysterious villains, and high concepts. All elements executed so perfectly it warrants special recognition in the pantheon of science fiction storytelling with this commemorative edition of the classic USS Enterprise model kit. AMT acknowledges this phenomenal work of classic science fiction art. This edition of the classic ship celebrates the fan-favorite episode by presenting kit parts in glow-in-the-dark plastic to simulate the look of the USS Defiant, as seen in the episode. Included for the first time ever are 2 Tholian Web spinner ships. Also included are assembly instructions, a decal sheet featuring options to decorate as 1 or different ships, 13 other starships. And again, this is round 2 models. And it shows a website, round2models.com. Oh, it shows 2 websites. The other one is collectormodels.com. And again, the box art is really cool. I love the Defiant. So let's go ahead and we're going to unbox it. Well, the sides of the box have some cool photos as well from the episode. There's a Tholian right there. Let's see what has the Tholian Web spinners, glow-in-the-dark plastic, and it's got this on the side. While exploring uncharted space, the USS Enterprise is ordered to investigate the disappearance of her sister ship, the USS Defiant. The Enterprise crew finds that the area is being affected by strange space anomalies, which gradually incapacitates the ship, as well as the crew. Through no sensor detect the presence of the Defiant in the area, the crew members can clearly see it glowing eerily on their view screen. Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock soon beam over to investigate and find the Defiant's crew to be mysteriously dead. As the ship fades in and out of view, Captain Kirk is unable to be returned to the Enterprise. While waiting for the Defiant to reappear, the Enterprise is commanded to leave the area by enigmatic Tholians and their ship. An attack on the Tholian ship completely drains the Enterprise of its ability to fight or move, and the Tholians respond by trapping the Enterprise inside an energy field. It ultimately takes all of the Enterprise's crew, cunning and skill to rescue Captain Kirk and escape the Tholian Web. As you guys remember, they really didn't. It was actually the blast that threw them from the web, so it was nothing that they did per se. So let's go ahead and open this up. I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be so cool. This is going to be one of those, just really, really, really fun models to make. So the box art is really cool, and that's one of my favorite episodes. It just, don't you all wish that they made more than 3 seasons worth of episodes, the original series? The original series is my favorite. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Star Trek The Next Generation and the others, so I'm not knocking them. I just wish that there were more of the original series episodes, other than the 79 original ones. So that being said, let's go ahead and we'll open it up for you guys. I'll put that over there so we can admire the box art. And first thing I notice is the saucer section, and this is so cool. This is actually, it brings me back to my childhood. It's the same molding used for the original plastic ship, the Enterprise, that was sold by AMT. And you can see the bridge area in the bottom where the plastic, the green clear plastic, would have gone. This is going to be really, really fun model kit to make. The next bag is, we have the secondary hull, and you can see the reflector dish. Yep, it's the exact same modeling used in the molds for the original. It even had that stand, the horrible, crappy stand where at least I can never get it to stay on. So I'm going to have to address that, and I'm going to probably make a different stand. I'm probably going to customize one. I know they sell them from Polar Lights, but if I'm going to put lights on this, it's not going to be lights that you plug in. It's probably going to be powered by batteries. So I'm going to have to do a stand that's going to have with a base that's going to be able to put the battery pack on. You can see the nacelle caps. This is going to be really, really fun. Alright, what else we got in here? Oh, we got the Tholian ships. The Tholian ships, and you can see the plastic caps. Of course, the original model kit in 1960, I think 1966, it was transparent green, and that kit was lit. This one is clear plastic, and you can see the Tholian ships. That's pretty cool. Look forward to building that. And you have the round 2 models, AMT, polar lights, mailing list card. And here are the decal instructions. And what I'll do is I'll put pictures up of everything, so if you guys want to pause it and check it out, you can look at it in greater detail. But there are a lot of decals in this kit. I mean, compared to the original, I think the original only had the designation markings, the name of the ship, the sides of the nacelles, and the sides of the secondary hull. This one has a lot more detail. You can see, like I said, I'll put photographs up, and it shows you the different starships that you can make. The USS Constellation, the Constitution, the Defiant, the Excalibur, the Exeter, the Farragut, the Hood, the Intrepid, the Lexington, the Potemkin, the Republic, and the Yorktown. The whole Starfleet fleet of ships. Of course, the Enterprise being the flagship. So that's that side. And there's more on the back. You can do the first pilot version, which is pretty cool. The option for the second pilot version. And the Mirror Universe Starship from Mirror Mirror. I mean, it's pretty cool, the options that this model kit gives you. So those are the instructions for the decals. And these are the assembly instructions. And again, this will take you all back to your childhood because it's almost identical. The assembly instructions you can see from the original one that you remember building as a kid. At least I remember building as a kid. And it's going to be so fun to make. And like I said, I'm going to light mine because, I mean, come on, it's a Defiant. It's got to be lit. And it shows, there's a little catalog. It shows other models, including our beloved Star Trek models. Of course, the polar lights. Let's see, the decal sheet. Boy, the decal sheet is very large. Let me go ahead and I'm going to open it for you. I don't want to damage it, so let's... Again, it's like night and day compared to the original decal sheet that came with the original Enterprise model kit back in '66. Let me show you guys what the... Wow, that's really amazing. You can see all of the windows. So you don't have to paint it, so that's a good thing. Actually, the original model kit had all the holes, indentations for the windows on the ship itself, on the hull. And you know what? I don't see any on this one. So, I guess it'll look a lot more realistic with the decal sheet for the windows. And you can see the alternate ISS Enterprise markings, which is really cool. And you got the markings for the earlier seasons, and it's got the windows. A lot of detail. It's really amazing. It shows the assembly, well, the decal instructions on the back. And last but not least, what else do we have in here? We have... Oh, this is pretty cool. Look. This is actually the background. I don't know if you can see. Again, I'll put pictures up. This is a background of the Tholian Web, the actual web that encased the Enterprise. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if it'll be big enough, but it's a pretty good size. And what you can do is you can go ahead and attach the Tholian ships to the background. I don't know what I want to do yet, but that's pretty cool. That's a pretty nice little added bonus that you get in this model kit. Put some of the stuff. Let me put the instructions and go ahead and show you guys the saucer section. This is just like being, a little kid at Christmas time. This is so much fun. I just love the Enterprise so much. The best part of my childhood was Star Trek. You can see it's got the smooth saucer section. It doesn't have the grids. Well, I don't remember if the original had grids or not on the saucer section. But this one is nice and smooth. And this is, of course, molded in glow-in-the-dark plastic. Here's the bottom of the saucer section. Again, this will measure out to be about 18 inches long, and this is the exact molding used for the original model kit. It shows you of course, all the legalities, information in there. So, you put that in, and I'll take out some of the other parts of the kit, and I'll show them to you. Put the saucer section over there. Like I said, if I'm going to look up and see how many finished model kits of this are on YouTube, and I'm looking forward to seeing how many of them are lit. But you can see the secondary hull, and they do have the outlines of the windows. It's not the little indentations that we're used to. You can see the pieces that make up the secondary hull. Of course, the nacelles, the old nacelle moldings. Get the caps in the back, the radiator grids, well, the radiator parts for the nacelle warp engine coolant, the back of the impulse engines that go in the back of the saucer section. And this is actually a loose piece. This is for the hangar deck. I'll put that over there. Yeah, and the second one, the second nacelle, the radiator fittings, and the underneath part for the Bassard collectors. And of course that awful, at least it's, in my opinion it's awful, the old stand that came with the ship. The old kind of T-like stand, and I don't know about you, but mine would always fall over. So I'm not going to use the stand. I'm gonna make something. I'm gonna fabricate something. You can see the Bassard collectors, looking very nice, all in glow-in-the-dark plastic. And that's pretty much the contents of the kit. I said I'm looking very much forward to building this, and I can go ahead and I can open up the show you guys what the little Tholian ships look like. Yeah, you wouldn't think there'd be so many pieces for something that small, but you can see the little I guess they go together like that. Now, can you imagine something that stupid attacking the Enterprise thinking that they were going to intimidate them? I mean, come on, really? And of course, it attacks the Enterprise and then gets pretty much overwhelmed right away. And there's 2 of those, and of course the clear that came with the section. So that's the AMT 2011 version of the USS Enterprise model kit. This is the modeled in glow-in-the-dark plastic, as seen in the Tholian Web from the episode of Star Trek The Original Series. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it as the USS Defiant. I know it's marketed as the Enterprise, but I'm going to probably call this video the unboxing. Well, I'll do it as what's labeled on the box, but I'll also do it as the USS Defiant, because that's what she's going to be. And I'm going to light her, and I'm going to do videos as I go along on my progression, and I'll share the videos with you and updates. And at the end, I'll do a finished video showing you guys the finished product, and hopefully I can figure out how to light it and make a base for it that's going to be able to put the battery pack, and I hope it'll look good. Again, this one I don't want to say is rare, but there weren't really that many of these models on eBay, and some of them were quite expensive. Every time I went to the main website to look for them to get another one that I wanted to keep sealed, they were sold out, and I don't know if they're going to reissue this kit or not. But again, I like to open up the kits that I have, make them for you, and then share them with you so you can leave yours on the shelf in mint condition, still sealed in the wrap. But this is the AMT USS Enterprise from the Tholian Web edition. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed looking through the box and looking at all the stuff with me. Till next time, take care.